What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to KTM Sports Nation. I am so glad to be back with you guys. Had a week off last week, but I'm so glad to be back with you guys. It's exciting to be back. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to boxing, baseball coming back in less than a month. Opening day is back less than a month away. MLB baseball spring training has been to a really fast start. I feel like baseball just ended like not even a month ago, but it's been a couple of months now. I'm so excited that for the super fight that's going to happen in September. I'm very excited for Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao too. I feel like it's been way too long. 11 years is a long time. 2015. I feel like they should have scheduled the fight at least a year after, but here we are finally. To me, I think it's still the same playing field. I believe Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao should be about equal because Floyd Mayweather is 50-0 now, and Manny Pacquiao is 47 years old. Mayweather is 49. Mayweather's undefeated. Arguably one of the greatest boxers to ever step in a boxing ring. The greatest defensive boxer ever, for sure. He is definitely the best defensive boxer there ever is. Nobody, I don't even comes close to defending getting hit. Mayweather's the best at it. He's been, that's his forte. He's the absolute best at rolling under the shoulder and just completely avoiding getting hit in the head. He is the absolute best at that. He's 50-0 for a reason. He's unbelievable. But he's coming out of retirement, and he's facing Manny Pacquiao, who just fought Barrios, who just lost to Ryan Garcia. Last Saturday, he just lost to Ryan Garcia for the welterweight belt. But Manny Pacquiao just fought Barrios at 46 years old for the welterweight belt, and he didn't. I mean, the champion gets to keep the belt as a draw, but I feel like Manny Pacquiao totally outboxed Barrios and should be the champion. But it is what it is. Ryan Garcia would probably have to fight Manny Pacquiao if that was the case. But I guess these judges didn't want to give Manny Pacquiao the belt. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I think Manny Pacquiao won the belt over Barrios, my opinion. Manny Pacquiao is an 8-time division world champion. That's absolutely insane. There's nobody that comes close to even. I mean, man, that's unbelievable. To be a champion 8 different division and weight classes is absolutely insane. I think Manny Pacquiao could definitely beat Floyd Mayweather because I think the rumor was that during that first fight that Manny Pacquiao had a shoulder injury and it limited him. Obviously a shoulder injury is huge. Torn rotator cuff was the report when he went into the fight against Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people, were saying that it was the wrong timing because of the injury, and they should have canceled it and rescheduled it. But it is what it is. Floyd Mayweather won that fight, fair and square. The decision 118 to 110, 116 to 112, 116 to 112. That's a unanimous decision for Floyd Mayweather, and it was considered the fight of the century at the time. It grew, the grossing was 4.4 to 4.6 million pay-per-view buys, which is the most all-time, over 400 million pay-per-view revenue. This is the time when pay-per-views was still a thing. Now it's moved on to Netflix. So if you're a Netflix subscriber, you could watch this fight for free pretty much. I mean, it's just amazing how things have been switched over from pay-per-view to now streaming, which I think is the best thing they did. Paying $80 an event, I don't think is worth it anymore when you have HBO, you have Paramount, and you have Netflix. I think a lot of people are streaming things now. Even with movie tickets now, people don't even go to the movies. They just spend time watching movies on these streaming apps, and now fighting is included in this. UFC is now a part of Paramount Plus, and Netflix is now boxing. UFC is on Paramount, and also Dana White just came out with a new promotion called Zuffa Boxing. It's getting pretty crazy how everything's been switched from pay-per-view to streaming now, which is, that fight, like I was saying, between the first fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, $72 million live gate. It's the most all time. Estimated 600 million total revenue worldwide. Um, no other event has ever come close to that numbers. This is why it's considered fight of the century, because obviously there are two legends and because of the numbers they put. It's the number one in everything when it comes to money, when it comes to viewership, and when it comes to just, the two people in the ring, one of the two greatest boxers that ever step in a ring. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this again. The only thing that stinks, you got to wait all the way to September 19th. And it is the first boxing match ever in the history of boxing to be showed at the Sphere in Las Vegas. I think that'll be sick to see on TV. I mean, people that are going to see it, it's going to be even insane in person because the whole venue is a screen, which is pretty sick. So you look around, you feel like you're in a movie, but it's insane. The Sphere is absolutely crazy. Like I said, it's going to be streamed on Netflix. So if you don't have Netflix, you're obviously not going to be able to watch this. It is not an exhibition. This will count on the record. The second fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather is putting his record on the line at 49 years old, 50-0, putting his record on the line. This will count as a professional fight, and it will count as a record win or lose for Floyd Mayweather. So he's taking a big risk. He's been posting training videos. He's getting ready for an exhibition, which I think totally is a waste of time, my opinion, against Mike Tyson, because to me that's just a money grab. Mike Tyson is 59 years old. 59 years old. I mean, 59 years old. You're going to fight a 60-year-old? You're going to fight a 60-year-old man in an exhibition just to grab cash? I mean, I believe it's more for Mike Tyson. I don't know why Mike Tyson keeps signing up for this, especially after the Jake Paul fight. Mike Tyson just make money and where he's at and just forget about fighting because, he's past his prime. I mean, he's my favorite fighter to ever step foot in a ring. Absolute killer. Mike Tyson is the GOAT for me. I mean, besides Muhammad Ali, I don't think you could say anybody else is number two. I think Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson are the two greatest boxers to ever step foot in the ring, my opinion. Mayweather, like I said, though, is 49 years old. So the question is he still quick enough to defend Manny Pacquiao's striking? Manny Pacquiao's striking is unbelievable. I mean, his last fight, he should have won the belt, like I said. He was easily the winner in that fight, but I think because of the age, the judge did not want to give it to him, which is a true tragedy because I believe Manny Pacquiao should be the champion even before the Ryan Garcia fight. I think Manny Pacquiao should be the champion, but they didn't give it to him. He's not the champ, and now he's fighting Floyd Mayweather, which I'm very excited about. I don't care about the age. The age doesn't mean anything. These guys are absolute legends. Two of the best boxers to ever step foot in the ring, like I said. I'm excited to see this, and Manny Pacquiao's not hurt this time. I believe the reason why Manny Pacquiao didn't perform as well in that fight is because when you have a torn shoulder muscle, I mean, how can you swing? How can you hit people? How can you be accurate? And Manny Pacquiao is an absolute accurate striker. But you got to give credit to Floyd Mayweather. He's absolute unbelievable at avoiding the jab, defending, striking to the face, everything. He's just absolutely the best at running around the ring and defending strikes. He's easily one of the greatest of all time. Anybody that says 50-0 and not being considered one of the greatest of all time, this guy shaped the modern day, my generation, of greatest fighters ever. Floyd Mayweather is 50-0. I mean, come on. He puts on a technical defensive clinic anytime he's in the ring. 50-0 is not light. It's it's unbelievable record. Rocky Marciano is 50-0. Not many people are undefeated when it comes to being considered one of the greatest of all time. Mayweather is definitely in that category. The reason why I believe, Manny Pacquiao could beat Floyd Mayweather, because like I said, he's fought recently. He's fought professionally, non-exhibition. He's fought for the belt. And I believe Manny Pacquiao should have been the champion. His speed is absolutely insane for his age. He's definitely great still. I think Manny Pacquiao could definitely win this fight against Floyd Mayweather. I'm picking Manny Pacquiao to win this fight against Floyd Mayweather because of striking, and I just like somebody that's way more aggressive and when it comes to striking. But Mayweather could definitely win again with his defending. Mayweather is absolutely unbelievable. He is the GOAT of the defensive boxing. His reputation is just the best at defending and defending strikes. He's the biggest boxing financial draw in the history of boxing easily. That's why they call him Floyd Money Mayweather. He's that's who he is. He just counts the cash. He brings it in. He brings the revenue. He wins his fights, and his opponents, they make millions and millions of dollars. This is going to be a massive production. First time in the Sphere to ever have a boxing ring. I'm excited because, UFC just did last year in the Sphere, Cinco de Mayo type thing. It's amazing how the Sphere is made and how it's, the ring is in the middle. It's going to be absolutely so cool to see these two legends coming out at that venue and just battling it out in the middle of the ring. Pacquiao is very capable, and he is the only person I believe that could give Floyd Mayweather his first loss. I mean, I don't think Floyd Mayweather will fight professionally ever again after this one because they've been discussing this rematch for 11 years, since 2015, which I believe is way too long. 11 years is way too long to discuss a rematch. It should have happened probably a year after, I believe. But it is what it is. These guys are around the same age. These guys are they're very well matched, I believe. It just comes down to if Pacquiao can knock him out or if Mayweather, get his strikes in and just defend the whole time, because Mayweather, don't get me wrong, Floyd Mayweather could definitely knock out Manny Pacquiao, but recently Floyd Mayweather has just been known for just making people look foolish when it comes to swinging at him because he's such a defensive mastermind. He's just unbelievable at defending the jab, the hook and everything. The guy is just a monster when it comes to defending, people hitting him. It's just the guy's the best at it. There's nobody that comes close. Netflix is pushing hard constantly now on all platforms now for this fight. So people are definitely watching this fight. This fight will definitely, I believe, draw bigger numbers because I believe, it's on the streaming app. It's not pay-per-view. People don't have to buy more money to spend to watch this fight. As long as you have Netflix, you could watch this. I think it's going to draw more viewership. The nostalgia behind this fight, like I said, the first fight drew so much viewership and big numbers and big money for these two. I think the second fight will be absolutely way bigger than the first one. The rivalry sells globally. These guys just, they know how to talk smack with each other. They know how to draw a crowd. This is going to be an unbelievable fight. This will probably be the best fight of 2026 when it comes to boxing, I believe, because I don't think there's any real good big names left in boxing anymore. I mean, Terrence Crawford just retired, undefeated, one of the best boxers, I believe, too, to ever step foot in a ring. He just retired. Not many people are fighting anymore. Canelo's on and off now. Who knows when Gervonta Davis is coming back? There's reports that he just retired. Now he's thinking about coming back again. It's just not the same as it was back in the day in the 90s and, the 80s when you had Foreman, Tyson, Holyfield. You had Sugar Ray Leonard. You had so many different guys that were just constant animals, and just the weight classes and the competition. It's just not the same as it once was. But so it's really an honor to see these people, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, two absolute legends, battle it out. I'm excited to watch this fight. I think this is probably maybe going to be one of the very few boxing matches that I'll watch besides Anthony Joshua, because I like Anthony Joshua, and maybe Tyson Fury, because now he's coming out of retirement for the 5th time. Tyson Fury coming out of retirement. I mean, how many times can you retire and come back? But anyways, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, the Pac-Man versus Money Mayweather too. It's going to be a great fight, I think. I'm picking Manny Pacquiao by knockout. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather has the speed to defend the hits that Manny Pacquiao still has the speed to hit him with. So I'm picking I'm picking Manny Pacquiao over Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd Mayweather could very easily make Manny Pacquiao look foolish and definitely take the win over Manny Pacquiao. So it could go either way. But like I said, Tyson Fury is returning to boxing after a 5th retirement comeback. I mean, how many times can you retire and come back to the sport? I mean, he only has 2 losses, back-to-back losses recently against Usyk, Alexander Usyk in 2024. He clearly lost those fights. Usyk is definitely the man when it comes to the heavyweight division. He announced his comeback from retirement in January 2026, following his 5th retirement and back-to-back losses. So he's not fought since December 2024 when he lost to Usyk by decision. He said after a year of being away from the sport that he's ready to get back again, ready to make boxing great again. I mean, how many times can he retire and come back? I know he's only got 2 losses to Usyk. He's won every other fight besides that and 1 draw. He's 34-2-1. It's a great record, but stop retiring and then coming back. If you're gonna stay retired, just stay retired. Do not come back to the sport, because to me it just looks like you're either begging for money, or if you're just asking for just being a noticeable guy in the sport again. Don't get me wrong, Tyson Fury is very noticeable. He's one of the best to ever step foot in the ring. He's facing, this new up and coming kid in London, April 11th. It's going to be on Netflix again. Netflix is just drawing all of the boxing fights. Netflix is just absolutely just drawing every single fight when it comes to boxing. It's going to be his first fight in over a year. The person he's fighting is, I can't really say his name, Makhmudov. I'm guessing that's Russian. I don't really know the guy, to be honest with you. But he's a heavy-hitting knockout artist, considered as a dangerous but realistic return fight after Fury's layoff. So I guess they're saying that this guy is the best option for Tyson Fury coming back to boxing, maybe being a good warm-up match for him. Tyson Fury has got a lot of drama, though, around his return. A lot of people have been in his family and his personal life stepping away from speaking to him because now he's coming back to boxing. I mean, 5 times. I mean, just make a decision. You want to retire, or do you want to box? I mean, I'm pretty sure if I were to make a decision after the first time, maybe second time, that would be it. I mean, but 5 times, really? 5 times you want to make a comeback to the sport? I mean, I think that's more than enough. He's not serious about retirement. Like I said, 5 times is a lot. A lot of people saying he's washed, after the Usyk fights, because Usyk definitely won both those fights that he lost against. But I believe the roadmap for Tyson Fury, if he was to win this match, I think if he loses this match against this guy, I think he'd just retire again. Just stay retired. But if he does win, I think that'd be great for him. Comeback fight, warm-up fight, and then maybe set up that mega fight that's been reported and rumored with Anthony Joshua. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua? 2 of the biggest names ever in boxing, too. Like I said, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. That would be a mega fight, too. Tyson Fury, a big name versus a huge name, Anthony Joshua. And thank you, Anthony Joshua, for knocking out Jake Paul. You saved the sport, because this guy, Jake Paul, just doesn't know when to shut up. He is not a boxer. He's a YouTuber. He's a promotion guy. He's just not a boxer. He finally fought somebody who could finally put him in his place. And thank you, Anthony Joshua, for finally doing that. But anyways, Tyson Fury, after fighting this warm-up fight against Makhmudov, he would have to fight. I would love to see him fight Anthony Joshua. It would draw the numbers, the viewership, and it would be a great watch for the sport of boxing. But I don't think Tyson Fury gets past Anthony Joshua. I don't believe he beats him. I think Anthony Joshua is a way better boxer. But Tyson Fury definitely has the power to knock out Anthony Joshua, so who knows. But if he doesn't win this comeback fight, there's no way I don't think he should fight anybody else. I think he should retire. I think he's done. I think every other roadmap that he has for anybody else, I think he's done after I think he's done if he loses this fight. So I think this is a must-win fight for Tyson Fury if he wants to continue his career as a boxer. Some of you guys are saying something about Tyson Fury on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining Instagram. It's a business tactic. He keeps retiring and coming back to boxing. I mean, whatever, but still, it's a terrible tactic. I think you look like a fool when you keep retiring and coming back, unless you're Michael Jordan or some other way deserved name. I mean, I think Tyson Fury 5 times is ridiculous. I don't think he should be. I think he should definitely retire if he loses his next fight against Makhmudov because, he's getting up in age, and this is supposedly his warm-up fight. But if he wins this fight, I want him to win. I want Tyson Fury to win this fight. But if he loses, retire. Stay retired. Do not come back. Stay at home. Do whatever you want. Just stay away from the sport. Come to the fights. Watch the fights. Just don't fight. Because if you lose this fight, I don't think you're fighting Anthony Joshua. And I definitely don't think after whatever happens with Anthony Joshua, you fight Alexander Usyk for the 3rd time for the trilogy. Because say if he does win this next fight against Makhmudov, and if he does win the mega fight against Anthony Joshua, I believe the only other fight to make for Tyson Fury is Alexander Usyk for the trilogy. I mean, everybody's going to watch that fight, even though Tyson Fury can't beat him. I would pick Usyk to beat Tyson Fury because I think Alexander Usyk is way better fighter than Tyson Fury. He beat him twice, clearly. He's just a better overall boxer. He's definitely better skilled. I think Tyson Fury will lose against Alexander Usyk because can't beat him once, can't beat him twice. I don't think he'll beat him a 3rd time, so I got Usyk if that trilogy were to happen. But I don't think he's beating Anthony Joshua either because I think Anthony Joshua is way better boxer, and I think he's just way more skilled and he's way more of a threat in the ring and way more knockout power. But that's one of the biggest fights that's being targeted if my opinion, Tyson Fury beats Makhmudov in his comeback fight. It's scheduled to be Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua for late 2026. So it would be this year, later on this year, if Tyson Fury picks up the win against Makhmudov April 11th, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Premier League team, Tottenham. If you guys don't know where that stadium is, it's part of England, obviously, in London. One of the most well-known clubs in the English Premier League when it comes to soccer, football. It's not, I call it football because it's originally football. American football stole the name. So, yeah, that would be the roadmap for Tyson Fury. And if he does magically beat Anthony Joshua, I don't think he is going to beat him. But if he does beat him, they should schedule the fight between Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. The 3rd fight, it'll be a redemption, maybe arc for Tyson Fury to come back and win against Alexander Usyk. And then if he does beat Alexander Usyk by some miracle, I think, if he does beat him, maybe do it again for a 4th. I'm trying to tie it up, but I don't know. Maybe they might just do 3 and that's it. But if Tyson Fury beats Usyk, they might have to do a fourth fight. But I think Usyk beats Tyson Fury, in my opinion. The Saudis are backing this mega event. You know, they just have loads and loads of money. They're ridiculous. They just know how to. They're so loaded. It's insane. These Saudi Arabian people, the princes, and it's like they could just spend money like it's nothing. So they're backing. They back almost every boxing event. They're gonna definitely put their money into this heavyweight fights that Tyson Fury's in, or them Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. They're definitely gonna be right there for these fights. The Prince and the King is very big into boxing, so they will definitely be a part of it. Like I said, Tyson Fury's last undisputed title match was against Alexander Usyk in December of 2024. He lost in December of 2024, and he lost before that in May 2024. So his last two losses have been against Alexander Usyk, and then he announced his retirement right after that in early 2025 from the sport of boxing. Obviously, the good thing about this heavyweight division, they become relevant again because Tyson Fury is a very relevant name. I mean, he just is. He's won so many fights, big fights against Wilder, which to me, I think Tyson Fury kind of lost. I think he lost that first fight against Wilder. Wilder, I think the fight should have been over. Wilder definitely knocked him out for a minute, but the referee didn't want to call it. I think Wilder definitely beat Tyson Fury. One of those fights, he got absolutely rocked. I think, like I said, so that could have trajected everything. But having names, like I said, this is good news for the sport of boxing in a way, because having names like this, people will watch. People will watch this. I'm telling you right now, because you have Tyson Fury, you have Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. These guys are big-time names, big numbers, big viewership, big money. I believe this is the last run for Tyson Fury as a boxer in his career. I think if he loses if he loses this next fight, he's done, in my opinion. This is his legacy run, and I think if he loses this, he's completely finished, my opinion. But it's awesome that, like I said before, that this is no longer on pay-per-views. Best thing they ever did is now putting everything on streaming. I have all these streaming apps, so I'm fine. I have Paramount, I have Netflix, so I'm straight when it comes to boxing and UFC. So I could watch any boxing match, any UFC fight. So that's gonna be. I'm very excited about the Mayweather Pacquiao fight more than anything. I'm very excited. These are legends. I mean, anybody that says that they're not gonna watch it when they're a boxing fan, they're watching it. They're lying. They're watching this fight. But I'm very excited to see that fight. I'm kind of interested in seeing what Tyson Fury could do. I'm hoping he comes back and wins his comeback fight April 11th in London. So we'll see what happens when it comes to Tyson Fury. But my boy, Ryan Garcia, he has finally became the WBC welterweight champion after such a long run at trying to get his world title match, and finally became the undisputed welterweight world champion of boxing. He won the welterweight title this past Saturday, February 21st, 2026, in Las Vegas T-Mobile Arena against the defending champion, Mario Barrios. Like I said, Pacquiao should have been the champion, but he fought Mario Barrios, and they decided to give it a draw. And when it's a draw in boxing, the champion keeps the belt. So it is what it is. But like I said, my boy Ryan Garcia, big time Christian, came out actually before the fight and started, singing praise and worship. So I like him a lot for that, for being representing Jesus and everything. Number one. And, like I said, defeating Mario Barrios this past Saturday, February 21st, unanimous decision. He knocked him down pretty quick. Within the first 30 seconds of the fight, Ryan Garcia knocked down Barrios with the powerful right hand that he has. Very quick hands, Ryan Garcia has. He's knocked down Devin Haney with those hands, even though that was an absolute disgrace how that whole situation went down. I mean, saying he's on drugs, steroids, being on steroids, and then he wasn't on steroids, then he was on steroids. The whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, Ryan Garcia is the truth. Obviously, he proved it Saturday. He's the welterweight champion of the world. Winning unanimous decision in 12 rounds. I love Ryan Garcia. I love his skill set. I think he's a great boxer. Winning the unanimous decision, 119, 108, 120 to 107, 118 to 109. So that's straight across the board, unanimous decision. Victory as the new welterweight champion of the world. Like I said, this guy's been through so many different controversies and setbacks, and like people always counting him out, but he's proved it. He controlled the distance with the speed and punch variety, and totally outboxed Barrios from start to finish. He won every round, in my opinion. He was clearly the better boxer. I'm happy he's the champion, and I'm excited to see him continue as the welterweight champion. I'm very excited to see Ryan Garcia's future in boxing. One-sided performance by far. The judges put on the scorecards, like I said. 119, 108, 120 to 107, 118 to 109. He definitely was the most complete performance, my opinion, in Ryan Garcia's career fighting for the belt. He showed patience and relying on his just quickness and speed in those hands, including a knockdown, like I said, with his right hand in the first 30 seconds. But the one thing I didn't know about until recent reports is that he fought with a right hand injury. It required surgery. I think that's pretty wild when, a lot of the times I've realized people, when they lose their fights, it's either because they're not prepared, they just weren't good enough, or they're injured. But this guy won when he was injured, supposedly with the right hand injury. And that right hand was also used to knock down Mario Barrios in the first 30 seconds of the fight. But he adjusted his style with that injury mid-fight to avoid worsening it with fighting with the left hand more, hooking, upper hand, just totally outmatching Barrios. Totally. He was the better fighter by far. Won convincingly. No limitation. It didn't seem like during the fight until afterwards it was reported that he had an injury with this right hand. So he definitely showed, that he was the better fighter for the night, and adding to the narrative that he is the welterweight champion of the world and that it was the most defining moment of his career. I think this totally changes and, shows where his next path is as champion. Like I said, it's his first official world title. Thank you guys for joining Instagram still. Thank you for joining. YouTube too. But it's his first official world title. He's officially now a part of the welterweight champion status. He's an elite company now with many other welterweight greats in the sport. It's a redemption after losses and suspension controversy. He reestablishes himself as one of the boxing's biggest stars. There's no doubt about that. He's one of the biggest stars in boxing. He's fought against Gervonta Davis. He's fought against Rolly Romero. He's fought against Devin Haney and beating Devin Haney easily. It's sad the way that whole situation panned out, but like I said, this is the good moments now. He's pushing through. Now he's the champion, but he did have some times when people were doubting him, like with losses against Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis picking up the knockout. It was a very weird knockout. Punch to the chest, to the ribs, and just went down, and that was the end of the fight. That was a weird one. Losing to Raleigh Romero in 2025. Then a no contest to Devin Haney after a failed drug test when he clearly won that fight, in my opinion. Like I said, they were going back and forth for at least 2 months about if the guy was on steroids or not. If you're going back and forth and you're not sure if the guy's on steroids, he obviously wasn't on steroids, and they should have just gave him the victory, which is ridiculous. But Ryan Garcia, he's officially champ status now. After winning the welterweight belt, immediately after winning that fight against Barrios, he's called out Shakur Stevenson. He's also mentioned in interest in moving divisions and chase multiple division champion status. So he's going for a Manny Pacquiao type move. I'm all for it. I like Ryan Garcia, but I think besides Shakur Stevenson, I think they should. It's sad that he has to do it, but I think he should fight Devin Haney again because they're not giving him the victory because of the no contest because of the failed drug test and the steroids, whatever. I think Ryan Garcia was clean for that fight because they were so up and down with it. But eventually it was ruled a no contest because they gave him a failed drug test. So I believe after beating, I think he'll beat Shakur Stevenson. He'll fight Devin Haney again for a rematch. It's going to be maybe he'll have a super fight at either 140 or 147 pounds. I'm excited to see Ryan Garcia come back and win more and more as welterweight champion now, and maybe as other champions in different weight classes. So I take my hat off to him, and I'm glad that he's back on the road of winning because I really like him he's a great boxer. So we'll see what happens when it comes to Ryan Garcia. So last night, I'm on social media, and Aiden Ross as a special guest. If you don't know who Aiden Ross is, one of the most highly streamed people on social media there is, as every celebrity, as a lot of celebrities, has presidents on it, has athletes on it. So Aiden Ross has a stream, and he brings in the best, my opinion, boxer, pound for pound, in the UFC today. Ilia Trash was on the Aiden Ross, stream last night. And Aiden Ross was talking about, Ilia Trash and his career, and now Ilia Trash has been on a sensational run in the UFC, the best fighter in the UFC, in my opinion, right now. I think he is, besides Islam Makhachev is number 2. They talk crap back and forth all the time, but I think Ilia Trash is definitely the best boxer. Comparing competition, Ilia Trash has knocked out 3 of the best of all time. Alexander Volkanovski, who is the current featherweight champion, beating Max Holloway, knocking him out, knocking out Volkanovski, knocking out the greatest submission artist, I believe, in the history of the UFC, Charles the Bronx Oliveira. Clean. Knocked him out all clean. So, I like Ilia Trash. I think he's the best boxer in the UFC because he's not really a submission guy, but he's more than capable to do it because he's very good. He's a black belt jiu-jitsu artist too, but he doesn't need to. This guy just knocks people out and they're going to bed. Once that punch lands on your jaw, you're done. He's just unbelievable at knocking people out. But like I said, he was on a stream with Aiden Ross last night on social media, and out of nowhere, Jake Paul comes on virtually on a call on the stream with Ilia Trash. I mean, Jake Paul just wants to be in everything. It's like the guy just needs to recover with his jaw before he starts talking about boxing or any type of fighting ever again. But he was on last night, with Ilia Topuria and totally saying that he could beat Ilia Topuria in either the UFC or boxing. I mean, I think Jake Paul's out of his mind. He just talks too much. Ilia Topuria will put him right to sleep real quick. And Ilia Topuria told him directly last night that you suck as a boxer, and I agree. He fought somebody that is definitely worthy of being an amazing boxer, Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua almost ripped all his teeth out with one hook. His jaw was totally caved in. I don't think he'll be fighting for at least, if he even considers the fight ever again, 2 years maybe. Especially after getting a second surgery with last 2 weeks ago, I believe it was. The screws were loose in his jaw, so he had to get another surgery to reconstruct that broken jaw. His mouth was totally caved in, but when you talk smack and you think you're the best, and then when you have somebody who is definitely better than you, and Anthony Joshua, that's what you get. I'm so glad Anthony Joshua saved the sport of boxing, because if Jake Paul beat Anthony Joshua, I would never watch boxing again, because it's just laughing. It's a laughing stock to everything. It's a laughing stock to everything if Jake Paul was to beat Anthony Joshua, but he didn't. Anthony Joshua put him to sleep. Well, not put him to sleep, but he knocked him out enough to put him down and broke his jaw in the process, and his jaw is completely shot. But Ilia Topuria was making fun of his jaw injury last night and, recovery and how long it's going to take for him to come back, if to consider fighting again. But Ilia Topuria says he's more than welcome to welcome him into boxing. He will go to boxing and fight Jake Paul, and I think Ilia Topuria could beat Jake Paul in a boxing match, and he could definitely challenge him. He challenged him last night, beating him in a UFC octagon. I mean, the guy would get slaughtered. If it was in an octagon, it wouldn't even be. I mean, I think in the boxing ring, he's going to lose, because he's not a fighter. He is not a fighter. He finally fought somebody that was actually a boxer, lost. This guy, Ilia Topuria, is known for his boxing skills, even though he's a mixed martial artist, an amazing athlete in the sport of the UFC. I think he would definitely knock him out. But Ilia Topuria was mocking him, and Jake Paul was talking crap, how he just keeps saying MMA fighters are overrated, and that he totally knocks out. He fought retired guys in the UFC, and they're not even boxers. These guys are known for just using other technical things in the UFC, and he just calls out 40-plus-year-old guys. You're not good. Jake Paul, you are not good. I mean, he fights Anderson Silva and knocks him out, but Anderson Silva's not a boxer. And then he fights Tyron Woodley, knocks him out. Okay, you beat two guys that are retired and past their prime. Go in the octagon, watch what happens. You would lose very quickly and be hurt very, very badly. He said he beat the best fighters. I mean, Anderson Silva is the third greatest of all time, my opinion, behind, GSP and John Jones, the top 3 greatest UFC fighters to ever step foot in mixed martial arts in the octagon. But like I said, Jake Paul said he beat the best fighters from mixed martial arts. He's not. He beat them past their prime, and they're not boxers. He challenged Ilia Topuria to spar immediately. It's just don't do it, Jake. You're gonna get killed. Ilia Topuria will destroy you. Even though Ilia Topuria accepted it, Ilia Topuria will definitely beat Jake Paul very easily in the UFC, and I think in boxing for sure. I think Ilia Topuria is just a better boxer too. But Jake Paul was saying he would beat him and outbox him very easily, which I think he's out of his mind. Topuria accepted his challenge, and maybe for the fun of it, they do it, but it wouldn't be good for Jake, because Ilia Topuria will not fall for a loss. Even no matter how much money Jake Paul tries to pay him to take a loss, you're not taking a loss against him. So that's just dumb. Jake Paul will get hurt very bad. He just runs his mouth too much. So I think he should shut up and stay quiet. Worry about his jaw recovering and just stick to YouTube or Disney Channel like he already was on, because he's not a boxer. It's obvious, proven. He got his teeth knocked in. He doesn't deserve to even be in the ring. I'm sorry, ever again. My opinion. It's going to take a very long time for him to recover as is, and he's not good enough. But, anyways, on the Aiden Ross stream, Ilia Topuria is preparing for a UFC return after a family problem with, his children and his ex-wife. So that's already resolved. And he's ready to get back to action and defend the lightweight belt, undisputed lightweight belt against Justin Gaethje, I believe, is the opponent. If it's at the White House, I don't know. We'll see. Spaniard, Georgian versus American. We'll see what happens. I mean, I would love to watch that fight no matter where it is. I think it's a great fight, but I think Ilia Topuria is better than Justin Gaethje. I like him more. So that's the next fight. But on the stream, Ilia Topuria somehow brings up an old stream of Conor McGregor talking about how Conor McGregor would beat Ilia Topuria. And then on March 7th, he challenges Conor to fight him in Madrid, Spain. I mean, I don't want to see that fight. I mean, it's too soon, too, and I don't think Conor was serious about fighting Ilia Topuria. But Ilia is saying that it would be a dream matchup against Conor McGregor in Madrid to come and just fight him. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, I could understand if it was prime Conor against prime Ilia. I think Conor wins because of his counter punches. But I don't think we'll see that fight. We'll never see that fight, in my opinion. But yeah, he challenged him in the dream matchup, but we'll see. I don't think that's gonna happen. It won't happen, actually. And like I said, Jake Paul should just stay quiet. And he's just not that he's not good. He's not a good boxer. But yeah, Ilia Topuria, I'm looking forward to him coming back. And I'm looking forward to Tyson Fury coming back. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather battling out. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. But like I said, less than a month away, another sport will be making its return in the regular season. It is Major League Baseball. It's less than 1 month away. Starting March 25th, the Yankees open the season on the road versus the San Francisco Giants. Spring training is now in full swing across Florida and Arizona, and teams are shifting from early workouts into real roster decisions and lineup battles. Speaking of roster decisions, I don't know if Anthony Volpe is going to be a Yankee for much longer. I think George Lombard Jr. could definitely be the shortstop, or Caballero, between those two guys, because if Volpe doesn't perform early, I think we should just get rid of him. Even though Aaron Boone is obsessed with him for some reason, I think if he struggles in the season for the Yankees, I don't believe that he should be the starting shortstop for us, because it's such a prime position for the Yankees. I mean, like I said, you're always going to have that Derek Jeter cloud and ghost in that area. They need Anthony Volpe isn't that guy as of right now. So if he's not it, it's time to move on. He had a horrible season last year. I know they said he had an injury with his shoulder and how that affected his whole game. I'm trying to figure out why Aaron Boone, why you would play him when he had a freaking shoulder injury and you're just risking him every single time to completely keep playing. But he was horrible last year. He was horrible. 200 batting average, sometimes under 200. If he's not, you can't blame the health anymore, because he's playing now healthy. By the time the season starts in a month, I don't think that's the reason anymore. But like I said, the opening season is starting soon. Final roster spots, competitions, positions are underway. veterans ramping up playing time. I mean, look at Paul Goldschmidt. They just re-signed him to a 1-year deal, the Yankees, and he's been absolutely fire, on fire for the Yankees. He's been killing it. The Yankees look really good in the spring training. Let's go Yanks. They look great. They're starting off, I think 6-2 because they won today too. So they were 5-2 yesterday, but now they're 6-2. The run differential plus 29. Runs scored 52. Runs allowed 23. The offense just looks explosive between Ryan McMahon, Paul Goldschmidt, Aaron Judge having a 2-run home run game the other day. Everybody's stepping up. George Lombard looks great on the field. Looks great with the bat. Spencer Jones looks great. The Yankees have amazing young talent that they could use over Anthony Volpe, in my opinion, between George Lombard at shortstop and whoever they want to do with Spencer Jones. Then they have Cody Bellinger. The Yankees are stacked offensively. And the pitching for the Yankees, they have an absolute star-studded when everybody's back and healthy. By the time it's May or June, they have Garrett Cole, Fried, Slitler. They have 3 of the best starting pitching in Major League Baseball. But Jazz Chisholm now just hit his first home run recently in spring training. Paul Goldschmidt has been a real surprise though in the spring training. He's crushing the ball. I really like Paul Goldschmidt because if Ben Rice gets hurt, he could play first base for a while. Ben Rice could also catch, but Austin Wells has that position full time. Yankees just won 20-3 recently. I think the Yankees are very capable, and I'm not being biased. They could definitely make a run in the postseason if everything is clicking. But the most important thing, the pitching has to be good, because that's always been the problem in a way, is their bullpen. They haven't really had a great bullpen in a while, besides the World Series run. But the offense has to stay hot too, because sometimes last year in the postseason, there wasn't too many people stepping up in the postseason for that team. They had the best offense statistically in Major League Baseball last season. So it's going to be exciting to see the Yankees this season, what they could do. Like I said, they're starting off March 25th against the San Francisco Giants. And I'm excited to see what happens when it comes to the Yankees 2026 MLB season and winning, hopefully, a World Series. I mean, it's been too long. 2009, it's 17 years, too long. It's time to bring another championship back to the Bronx and win a World Series. I hope it's this year. I mean, they have the pitching, I believe. I think they have the same exact offense, so we'll see what happens when it comes to the Yankees and being a threat in Major League Baseball. The only team I think that, obviously is the most scary team in baseball is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers are stacked. They have the same team the last 2 years, and they added more. They have Diaz now, the closer from the New York Mets. They have Kyle Tucker from the Chicago Cubs. They're just stacked. The Dodgers are just stacked. So that's the only team I'm really worried about if the Yankees do make a deep run. And the Blue Jays, because the Blue Jays, they made it to the World Series. The Blue Jays are a tremendous threat in the American League. But there's not too many teams, I don't believe, in the whole league that is great besides those 3 teams. I think those 3 teams are the best still. Still think the Yankees are still one of the best teams in baseball, in my opinion. Dodgers and Blue Jays are the 2 teams I believe that are ahead of them because they made it to the World Series and they deserve it. But what are you guys saying on social media? Yeah, Matthew Schaefer breaking the record for most goals by 18-year-old defenseman in NHL history. It's amazing. It's great. Uh, yeah, and I'm glad Team USA, men and women, won the gold in the U.S. For the Olympics. So that was great to see. First time in 46 years, the United States won gold for the men. 46 years is a long time for the United States men team not to win anything in the Olympics, Winter Olympics, and they beat Canada, both men and women, in overtime. So it was great to see United States come back to the Olympics and win on top and just be a great. When will there be soccer or Champions League talk? That's very soon. Next week. I'm talking about the World Cup next week. Next week and the Champions League. Yeah. We're there. We're almost there. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for joining. A lot of boxing going on. More than anything right now this week is boxing. There's a lot of boxing talk. A lot of boxing. Mayweather and Pacquiao, Ryan Garcia, Tyson Fury. We'll see what happens with these guys. I'm rooting for Ryan Garcia. Rooting for Tyson Fury to get his comeback win, and I'm excited to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Two legends around the same age. I think it'll be an awesome fight to watch. Everybody that loves boxing will be there at the venue, and people will be watching it at home or wherever they are on Netflix. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with everything. Just want to thank you guys for joining, and I'm looking forward to next week. And as we get closer and closer to baseball, basketball too. Let's go Knicks. They just can't beat Detroit though. I'm worried about them. They just can't beat the Pistons this year, and they're the first place team. Detroit in the East. Knicks are third now, behind the Celtics too. Can't stand Boston Celtics, so we'll see what happens with the Knicks. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for joining on both Instagram and YouTube. And we will see you next week.